This is episode 1 of the Neutral Zone. My name is Terrence Checkett. I'm from Ohio University. I'm a captain and the president, and I'm a sophomore.
I go to Ohio State.
I'm Matthew Rosinski. I'm on the UC team, and my role on the team is just to talk shit.
Hell yeah, man. All right, so all 3 of our teams were at the Buckeyes Showcase this past weekend on Sunday. It was the season opener for most of us. I know UC had that doubleheader against Miami, but it was the first look for a lot of league at some of the big Ohio teams, and we came up with a few overreactions or hot takes, and we're just going to gauge how hot or cold we think they are. And then we'll look ahead a little bit at the end to some of the tournaments coming up. So the first overreaction that we have is that Akron has the best catching in the NCDA. Ski, overreaction, or is there some truth to that?
I think they have one of the best catchers in the NCDA. As a team, I think that they're definitely more of a catching team, and they're definitely improving. But to say that they're the best catching team in the league, I think is most definitely an overreaction.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an overreaction. I think we're talking about the same person when I say that they have one of the best catchers in the league, number 24, Matthew Young. Yeah, that's the one. I was reffing your guys' game against them, and I think he made probably 7 or 8 catches the whole game, and 3 of them came on team throws.
Yeah.
We lost Nick for a second.
I'm back. Am I good?
Yep, you're good. We can hear you. All right. So, yeah, I agree with you. They've got the personnel. They're definitely a team geared more towards catching, and I think they performed at a high level against good competition. But I think to say they have the best catching is an overreaction. Nick, you got anything?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they went up pretty early on us, so definitely those. We brought it back. So yeah.
All right. Moving on to number 2, we have Ohio State has the best rookie class in Ohio and possibly the whole country. Ski, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, I haven't gotten the opportunity to play him. I think we might get the chance to play him at OU, but definitely just reffing your game and being a part of it. There were so many faces that were honestly making some of the biggest plays for OSU that I hadn't seen at all. Obviously, we haven't seen half the league play, so we can't say for sure, but definitely out of everyone who's already played, they have the most promising rookie class.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think it's hard to say that considering we haven't seen most of the league and what they can bring in terms of rookies. But from all the teams at the showcase, it seemed like OSU had the most young contributors, new faces, people making plays that I had no idea who they were. And I mean, yeah, Nick got me out a couple times. And they went up 3-0 on us, and we were not expecting that. So
we got 3 guys came in. We were all freshmen too, so the rookies, but we were also freshmen. Helps us out. So we're getting some more experience, and that'll definitely help us.
I think it's also big that there's a lot of spots that they could fill in with Ohio State losing key guys that they're able to come in and fill the roles. Whereas, a lot of the teams in the league, as we'll kind of touch on later, has so many returners that there's not too many roles or spots that are, open for freshmen to come in and make a really big impact.
Yeah, when you lose guys like Dylan Greer and Sam Palumbo, there's definitely big holes that need to be filled. But so far, so good. They're definitely filling those gaps. Number 3, we have CSU is still the same CSU. Ski, is this an overreaction or is that a cold take?
That's not an overreaction at all. I don't think. Yeah, they're definitely. I don't know how long it's going to be a rebuild, but
I
they
think
have.
until Leo gets back.
Yeah, which is what I'm gonna kind of touch on. Like, still the scariest dodgeball player I think I've ever gone against. He can absolutely do everything you could ever think of in dodgeball. So once he gets back, it gives a whole different look to CSU. So that'll be definitely once he comes back in the spring, it'll be a much different team.
Yeah, I have to concur. Leo's throw is the hardest I have ever seen. I haven't been playing dodgeball for that long, but from what I've seen, Leo is the scariest person. Um, I didn't get the chance to play them at the showcase, but we played them a couple times last year, and I know last year they were kind of carried, you could say, by Joe Walsh, and they kind of lost that presence this year. And it appears from the score lines that they're still struggling. But I know they've got a lot of guys who practice really hard, take it really seriously, and I'm excited to see what they can do. All right. This was put in there by Ski. He said that we are going to see the highest level of dodgeball ever played this year in the NCDA. Personally, I don't think this is too hot of a take. Comparatively, looking at the first tournament I went to last year versus what I saw on Sunday, the difference is huge. I know COVID plays a big role in that, not having practice for like a year and a half almost, and then coming back. But I don't know, with the place the league is in, the recruiting classes that have been reported already, I don't know. I don't think it's too hot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't been a part of the league for every year that it's been in. But, we have a lot of people who are still either coaches who have been a part of the league for over a decade, and I think you look at this year and just the rankings and where we're at right now. You have the top preseason ranked top 4 teams didn't lose too many big parts of their teams. A few starters here and there, but overall, I think OU has 10 plus returners. Cincy has 10 plus returners. GV, MSU was so young last year. So I think you're going to see some of the highest dodgeball, at least that we've seen. We can't obviously speak forever, but I think like you see in pretty much any league in the world, the talent kind of gets better year after year. So.
Yeah, I don't got much past experience, but I could say from the teams I played, they were pretty good. So, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and also, I don't know if we've ever had this many coaches in the league at one time. I know UMD has a coach this year. Obviously, you have Towson, UC, MSU, who have all had coaches for a while. OSU is getting coached by those guys that left last year a little bit. So there's just going to be, I don't know, a lot more dodgeball dialogue going on between the teams and just more strategy. And I don't see any reason why this won't be, the highest level that we've ever seen. Anything else on that, guys?
Not much. I'm ready to see where everyone's at, obviously, by nationals, because we're going to all have played each other, and hopefully we can get a lot more like inter-region play, which is kind of what we focused on last year, and getting to play other teams. Obviously, with MSU coming down, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I'm excited to get to play everyone and get a little sneak peek of all the teams before nationals.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal with most teams, I think. Just play as many schools as you possibly can. Just get as many looks at the rest of the league. The fifth overreaction that we have is that Ohio are the Ohio region favorites. Ski, you go for, as in Ohio University are the Ohio region favorites. Sorry, let me rephrase. But Ski, you go first.
I mean, you can't disagree with that after beating both of us in the most recent tournament at OSU. I think I think more than ever this will be the most competitive region, just because of how many good teams we have. Obviously, all three of our teams are very close, considering they're all that one catch games pretty much throughout. But yeah, I mean, you're definitely ranked higher. It's going to be hard.
Actually, no, we're not.
Well, you're going to be,
No,
but
not. They the Gonzalez rankings are 70% and the NHL rankings are 30%. And when you guys added in your Miami win, you jumped us in NHL rankings. So
perfect.
we actually dropped below you and JMU. So we didn't pass you, but we
Yeah.
will.
But we'd like to think that with the other few starters that it could have been a different outcome. But obviously, I think since we're going to be playing in all the same tournaments this year, we're going to get at least 3-4 chances
Oh, yeah.
to play each other and see who wins the series. I think we'll probably all trade a few back and forth throughout the season. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that was the one thing I was going to bring up is that although it's hard to not say Ohio are the favorites right now, it's also hard to forget that you guys were playing without Corey, a first team All American, second best player in Ohio last year, a true game changer. So I think that has to be taken into account. But as of right now, I don't think it's a hot take to say that we are the favorites. Nick, you got anything?
I mean, I think it'll be really close. I mean, us playing you, we didn't have Ryan at full health, and
True.
we'll get Derek coming back from injury too. So we'll get some guys going through the season, get more experience. And I know your guys' games was really close. Our game against you was really close. So I'm sure it's going to stay pretty close the whole way.
Yeah, 3-4 finish and an overtime finish. It's
Yeah.
really close to start the year. And I know you guys, that was a lot of your first tournaments at OSU, so definitely be looking to be even better in the coming games. The last hot take that we have is that Grand Valley will be dethroned by an Ohio team. Ski.
yeah, I mean, if there's any year that they are going to be dethroned, it is most definitely going to be this year. A lot of us thought that we were going to be able to do it last year and thought we had the players, the talent to do it. And I think a lot of us still do obviously have that talent with not losing them. I think we're understanding a little more of the strategy side that GV kind of had over all of our teams in the tournament and clearly absolutely dominated all the way through to the national championship. So obviously they didn't lose anyone. They're still led by the most experienced guy in the league by far, and probably still the best player in the league with Ben Smart. But yeah, if there's any season to do it, all of us, I think, in the top 8 of the standings, think this is our year to win the national championship. It's national championship or bust. So if we all have that mindset, whereas last year, I don't feel like there's as many teams thinking that they could, beat GV, beat MSU, do that sort of thing. So yeah, I think this is your year.
I like where your head's at. I agree with you that this is definitely the year. Not that it can't happen more in the future, but I think this is the first year where there's multiple Ohio region teams that really feel that they can make noise in the later rounds on day 2 of nationals, whether that's against GV or MSU. We know MSU is one of the most talented teams in the league, clearly, and we know that GV is always going to come at their best. But I don't know, something feels different.
Yeah, I don't got much experience against a lot of like the other teams, but I've heard some good things about the Michigan team, so I'm sure they'll be pretty good. So
Yeah, they're legit, man.
yeah.
So that's kind of all we have for the first round of overreactions. We'll continue to do that with the next podcast. It'll kind of be a theme. But we wanted to take a few minutes here at the end to look ahead to some of the tournaments that are coming up in the next couple weeks. because there's a lot of teams that are going to be making their season debuts, and we probably have some thoughts on those. So coming up this Saturday, September 25th, is Maryland Madness, hosted by UMD. I believe it's going to be the first look for all of the East Coast teams. So Virginia is going to be playing some of their first games in years. Towson, JMU, UMD, Penn State are all going to be playing their first games. And then on the same day, I believe, it's going to be the Red Hawk Classic that Miami's hosting. It's going to be the first look at teams like Bowling Green and UWP. Platteville's making the trek down um, to Miami, and as well as Bowling Green. So those will be some tournaments to keep an eye on this weekend. Some teams making their debuts. Ski, what do you think about the East Coast this year?
It's easy to say that obviously, especially JMU lost, their two best players. But I think if the league's learned anything over the past 10 years is that they're going to absolutely refill with stud athletes who are quick and can throw very, very, very hard. And that's what they do. And they definitely have enough arms to go wherever, play 2-day tournaments, nationals, that sort of thing, as it was proven. So I think it'll be interesting just to see who steps up for them. I think that's kind of the unknown this year because we know they're going to have athletes either way. They're going to have a full roster. So that's going to be interesting. And then as well as Towson, I'm very excited. Just all the teams seem really into dodgeball and having full rosters, practices complete every week in the East Coast from what I can tell and what they're putting on social media. So I'm excited to see on the tournament. I think it'll be a little bit higher level of dodgeball than, we might expect for how many players were lost in that region.
Definitely, I agree. The East Coast social media has been bumping recently. And for the Red Hawk Classic, did you guys play UWP last year?
We played them twice. I don't know about OSU.
I have no idea.
I'm sure you don't know. I'm actually going to be really interested to see what Bowling Green looks like this year. I know they lost two of their core seniors, Brandon Feltner and Cole Wilson. So it'll be really interesting to see how Evan Brown and the rest of the captains are able to recruit and build a new team. I'm excited to play them. I believe we might be playing them at our tournament, the John Betters Bobcat Bonanza 3. It's a mouthful. But we're going to be hosting 9 other teams, including season debuts from Michigan State, Western Michigan, and Kent. So we have 2 Michigan teams making the trek to Athens to check out the Nationals courts, a little sneak preview. And also Kent. I believe they only played 3 games last year, so it'll be really interesting to see how they recruited, see what they're looking like. And then a bunch of other Ohio teams will be in Athens October 1st. So that's going to be a really big tournament. Schedule should be released in the next week or so. And then after that, looking forward, we have 1 week later, October 8th, the Cornhusker Clash, which is a first look at UNL, who's a team who made a lot of noise at Nationals last year. It's a bit of a dark horse. A really good catching team, a really resilient team. They're all hard to get out, and they're led by All-American Colby Kokrak. And we're really looking to see what they can do this year. It'll be good to see them against teams like UWP, and I think Western Michigan might be going to the tournament as well. So, Ski, who are you looking forward to play at the Betters?
Honestly, all 3 of the matchups set, we think we're going to have the schedule obviously hasn't finalized yet, but from what the original schedule looks like, I think we're very, very excited to play MSU. We did request to play OSU too because we didn't get that chance because of a certain team.
Bowling Green.
Yeah, but no, definitely those 2 teams are going to be a great matchup, and we're going to have Jacob Weber back, which he was an All-American at his time in Akron. And then we'll have Corey back for both of those matchups. So I think it'll be interesting to see, what we can do at full strength. And, there's no excuse at all if we lose anything. So that's that too. And I think we get to play Bowling Green too. But like you said, they're a complete unknown. So it'll be interesting to see, where they've rebuilt. I think they'll be very similar to, like a Western Michigan, where they definitely have the talent. They just are still, developing the arms and the strategy.
Definitely. Nick, I can pull up the tentative schedule and see who you guys are looking at.
All right.
But for that Cornhusker clash, did you guys get to play Nebraska last year, Ski?
No, just OSU did.
Just OSU. Yeah, we played them round of 16, day 2 of nationals, and that was a really tough game. I think we won 3-2 and lost to GV, but they're a solid team. They're all extremely tough to get out. What they lack in total arm strength, they by far make up for in catching. So I'll be interested to see what kind of recruiting they can do this year. Yeah, so as of right now, it's looking like OSU is going to have UC, Western Michigan, and Akron. So
Yeah,
you guys will get
definitely
another look at
excited for-
Akron, a first look at UC that you didn't get to get at the showcase, and play your first Michigan team.
Yeah, definitely excited for Cincy because obviously heard the
For
most
sure.
about them of the 3 teams, and I know that'll be a good game. I guess just pretty much just going in to get more experience. Let's play some more games. Just excited.
Yeah, man.
Overall.
Yeah. So that's all I got for episode number 1. I'm sure we'll have more content as the tournaments start coming in. We can think of some new ideas, new games to play, and we're always looking to have new guests. But yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Of course. All right. Peace out.
Peace.